hated than Erica Jane. Yes.
Yeah.
So
ain't that funny? Wow.
Isn't that crazy? It's really, if you think, because they hated Erica Jane the season before.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's people, lots of people hate Jen Shah, but not everyone. Lots of people have just a soft spot for her. I don't really.
That should be studied.
It should be studied.
Because it's like, she stole from elderly people.
Yeah. I don't really have a soft spot for Jen Shah.
I don't have a soft spot for Jen Shah at all. Inmate Shah.
Yes, Inmate Shah. Even before this came out, I thought she acted too much for the cameras.
Oh yeah, she was definitely extra, very extra. But she also had even this past season, I was like, there's certain moments in her confessionals, like, she's funny, she's good TV.
Yes.
Is she a horrible person? Yes, but you can be a horrible person and still be
and
good
funny.
TV.
Right, like if Karen Huger goes out and we find out that she's been running some huge scam, I'm going to still say Karen Huger is Sing Sing and Ling Ling and like hot boxes, and I'm going to be like, Karen Huger is a funny as fuck woman. Yeah. She's so funny.
And she's gracious. If you meet her in person, I got to meet her at BravoCon backstage. Great, very different energy, because I also met Gizelle backstage. Energy is everything. And Giselle's energy was very different than Karen's energy.
Why did Gizelle want you to like kiss the ring, so to speak?
Well, it was very brief interaction, and luckily I was with Up and Adam, and he'll go up to someone. I'm not going up to anyone.
He's personal.
So he goes up to her. He's like, "Oh, hey, Gizelle," and trying to make a conversation. Luckily, she got distracted because her first thing out of her mouth, "Do you guys say nice things about me?"
Yeah,
and I'm just like this.
Yeah, no, there's people, when my team reaches out to people and sometimes we get a no, or I'm always like, look, I mean, first of all, a no becomes a yes in 3 days. So it's like, but I'm always like, is it a no like you're busy? Or is it a no like 17 weeks ago at, 4:01, you heard everything I said about you?
Oh.
Like you have to wonder, right?
Is there any, can you spill some tea? Like, is there someone that you've always wanted to interview, but maybe they wanted to be paid, or maybe, because that happens.
There are. Why have you had people ask for money? Yes, no. People they have asked for money. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I've had that years. In this new era of Kempire, I've decided not to reach out for interviews. I did earlier
That's
on,
better.
But I've decided, because I spent years when I was building Kempire Radio trying to, reach out for interviews, and I've been lucky. Like, I've interviewed Oprah. I've been lucky, but
excuse me.
So I've interviewed quite a few.
Now you want to interview the Grand Dame? I mean,
but it's not even about that. It's sort of like, because I'm recapping and reviewing these shows.
I know.
I would prefer not to. And sometimes when they reach out, I'll consider it. Like, right before the last season of RHOA, Sonia Richards-Ross people reached out to do an interview, and I did it, and it was a great conversation. But at the same time, I was like, is this going to influence my review? It didn't, because
Yeah, no. Listen, I mean, I'm all about the numbers, so I look in like the gossip shows where we're just sitting here shooting the shit, rate better than almost any interview.
Yeah.
Almost. Now, like, I just had Brandi Glanville on. Like, I knew that was going to be a huge thing, and it was.
Was this after the Caroline situation?
It was before. No, I know. I started with an introduction. Hey, everyone. I'm not misleading you. Listen, but please listen to this. And then people are like, I'm like, did you? And most people did not push back, because I'm like, this is why I'm taking 3 minutes at the beginning of this to tell you this is recorded before she left for girls' trip, everybody. Wow. So when you're in the middle and you say, where's the Caroline question? I just told you 3 minutes earlier.
No, people don't listen either.
It was still, but it was still just like, I mean, despite the fact, she was literally one of my favorite interviews for her.
Really?
Because she's real. Yeah. Love her. She's sloppy. So you ask her a question, she'll give you a real answer.
Yeah.
So I love Brandi. So that was it. So I have these big moments, but a lot of the problems is when it's a current housewife, they come on with just a bunch of smiles and flowers. And I'm like, this is bullshit, because we just saw you basically tear someone's face off on the TV, and now we're asking about it. And like, so this isn't real.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's smart of you.
Yeah.
But like Adam does both. He does both.
And there is a place
but he
for
mostly
that.
Does not both. And I'm really in the between too.
And I think it's important to have that, because the audience does want to hear from them. You know what I mean? And outside of the show, and they want expansive conversation about the show. I just prefer not to. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm open to always doing it, but
I agree. I won't curb my thoughts just because you were on. I just think my thoughts change. So like with Heather Dubrow, if I watch, but also like we know how the sausage is made, so I can't talk about what I saw on the TV as if it's real.
yeah,
If I know you as a person,
yeah,
like a Heather, because everyone's like this and that, but like now we've talked and
Yeah.
we've texted. And so to me, I'm just basing it on you sitting in front of me as a human versus whatever someone thinks you did on TV.
yeah.
I don't know which is real, but I'm basing it on the real world versus. So I don't really curb my beliefs. Maybe I just get clouded.
Yeah.
But I don't get clouded with most interviews. Like most
Yeah.
interviews, I could sit there and be like, it was just an interview. And then we hung up and I wished you luck. But then there's like a Heather where it's like just so ingratiating. And I'm like, yeah, I admit that I'm kind of swayed. And whether you're
At least you
good
admit it,
and
which is
whether, right,
fine.
and maybe you're great at what you
This
do.
is not
Maybe it is all
CNN.
right. Maybe you are so good at it that you sprinkled your magic dust on me, but I don't know if I care. Like I always say, like to me, I mean, she's been on this show probably the most out of any housewife ever is Luann. Luann.
Wow.
So like the class with the countess is a real thing. If you met Luann, she would pull you into her bosom and she would look at you and you would just be like, wow. So like maybe she's just all fake. I don't know. I've met Luann 9,000 times in my life. She's so
Always the same.
gracious. So you see what I'm saying? So like if it is fake and you're working me, does it even matter? Because you're just a gracious, wonderful person, right?
That's true.
I wish I had that ability, Kempire, to meet people and be like, I'm going to make you just love me. I don't have that.
But that's also part of the magic of being a housewife.
Yeah.
You know, they have that thing about them that people gravitate to. So I'm not surprised by that at all. And part of the reason why I say and it might be also because, you know, when I was doing Kempire Radio, I was always reaching out for interviews. And you already know that process sometimes is so arduous. And that's a job in itself. And if you're doing it alone, it's a lot of work. So part of it is so it doesn't influence everything else that I'm talking about. But the other part is like, I'm not doing all that. And I'm not doing the red tape or I got to speak to this one and we got to schedule for. I'm busy already. And it's not that important to me.
I get it. Like
And we have people like you and Adam that do it, and I'll watch those
that
interviews.
or we'll come
then
on,
I'll
or
talk
we'll
about
come
that
on
interview.
your show and give you like a real chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm in between, but I am like trying to cut back on something. It's like no one's going to notice. We're still going to have plenty of interviews, but just yes, there's a lot of red tape, and then sometimes you're just like. You know, I haven't interviewed Oprah, but I've interviewed people that are, say, way bigger than the particular housewife that's now giving you an attitude. And you're like, girl.